All right, as many of you likely recall, Texas Congressman Chip Roy was critical in bringing all sides together last week to unify around a new speaker, and I believe that the party is now stronger and even more unified around what is the America First, conservative, Make America Great Again agenda. And joining us, we continue with Speaker McCarthy, along with Congressman Chip Roy, Congressman Byron Donalds, and John James. Good to see you all. Thank you for being here.
Great to be here.
You played a big role. I gave you props last week on TV. I meant them. I know behind the scenes you tried to bridge the gap. You were successful. How hard was it?
Well, look, beating the swamp is hard. And everybody here is committed to doing that. And sometimes you got to break a little glass. Sometimes a little temporary conflict is a good thing. The American people were drawn in last week.
I was a hockey player. I'm used to dropping gloves and throwing down.
Yeah. Well, look, they were drawn in last week. They were drawn into what we were trying to accomplish on their behalf, to fight for them. They want to believe that we're here fighting for them. And I was delighted to work with my colleagues here. And this morning in the Republican conference, I think there was a new sense of unity, a new sense of purpose, united behind a mission to stop funding a government filled with bureaucrats and tyrants rolling over the American people, denying their liberties, undermining their freedoms. We have a unique opportunity. Kevin has an historic opportunity right now to carry this country forward. I look around the room. Brian Fitzpatrick behind me, French Hill and Garrett Graves. We worked together all last week to make this happen. My fellow Texans, Ronnie Jackson, Brian Babin, who worked hard on the Texas border plan that's a part of this deal. Look, we're all united to stand up for the American people, secure this country.
By the way, did you see that phony photo op? First they clean out El Paso. It never looked cleaner in its entire history.
Yeah, you finally found the Texas border on a map. Yeah. It was nice to see it happen. But,
exactly.
But no, we're united now. And look, that stuff was important. We got through it. And but we've got the tools. We've got some of the transparency. Now the work lies ahead. We got to unite and go execute.
And Byron, you also worked hard behind the scenes. By the way, it had to feel a little good to get some votes for Speaker.
It was cool. I'll admit that. It was really cool. But I lost to this guy, so what am I going to do? No, it was a point in time where, there were some members who believed in my abilities. But the number one thing was bringing this thing together. Obviously, the world was watching. We all knew that. But like Chip said, we had a responsibility to make sure, number one, we had a plan and we had an agenda that Speaker McCarthy has built for our conference. The thing that we were looking for is making sure that every tool in this building is utilized to make that happen. Yeah. And so the job was simple. Find a way to get everybody together so we can get the job done and get down to business, and that's what we're doing.
I wanted you here for a long time, and here you are. It's good to see you.
Thanks for having me.
Well, from your perspective, how do you feel about the agenda, and do you feel this party is united around principles? I always say conservatism, when you apply it, it works. Radical socialism does not work in any manifestation, any name, any form. It always fails. But we're doing great under conservative policies. Will we get back to that?
Look, I'm a freshman. I'm new here, and everybody has a clean slate. But I can tell you, Kevin McCarthy, promises made, promises kept, and that's what I came here for. For those of us last week who said we couldn't unify, make no mistake about it. Without these men here, Chip Roy, Byron Donalds, and Kevin McCarthy, we'd still be voting. Kevin McCarthy is the only one who could possibly win the speakership. And these two gentlemen are the only ones who could bridge that gap to help us get across the finish line. They said we couldn't unify. They said that we couldn't be effective and get popular bills through. We just got holding China accountable and looking at our competition by a margin of 300 votes. And when they say that we can't get things efficiently on the floor, we see that Joe Biden is abusing his office, and we have the weaponization of our government passed today. We can unify. We can be effective and get popular bills through. We can be efficient. And we can do it as a unified force. And we are coming for the rest of America to make sure they're not left behind. Our commitment to America is something we're absolutely going to keep our promise to. And these are the men and women who are going to do it.
I was right when you ran for the Senate. You should have gotten that job, but you're better off here, I think.
I tried to recruit him and tell him not to come to the House.
Look, when in one of that recruiting meeting, and I will never forget it for as long as I live, February 2019, he said there's nothing that could be said on that floor that would embarrass him more than the fact that the Democrats look more like America. But see, here's the thing. It's not about our skin color. It's not about what folks say, your ideology, your identity. It's about what all unites. It's not about black and white. It's about red, white, and blue. And the conservative agenda, this commitment to America, is about bringing everybody up. A rising tide lifts all boats, and I'm excited to be on the side in the majority and make everybody's life better.
And I agree with your praise of Chip and Byron Donalds. I really do. You guys were key last week. We have 30 seconds left, Mr. Speaker. What do you want the American people to hear last? Where are you taking this group of this majority?
I want them to understand this is their house. This is their government, and we will always listen to them, and we will always fight for them.
That's right.
What our battle last week was to only make us stronger to represent you. It doesn't matter if you're Republican, Democrat, or Independent. Your voice matters, and you have a voice here. Our commitment to America, what we campaigned on, we will keep it. We're showing it each and every day. We might stumble at times, but the one thing I hope everybody learned from me, we will never give up.
Never give up.
And I'll never give up on the American public.
All right, one final quick.